VAR.
Huh.
Hey,
What is it good for?
absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
I said VAR.
Huh.
Huh?
Good God.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yo, it's Big Kev.
And age.
You know, this is the football couch.
And we're going to go through all the big talks.
Yeah, it's Sunday night and we have just watched the Arsenal game and we've watched the Liverpool game. And as you can see from the title, we're going to start on the Arsenal game because we had some contentious decisions after Palace had a little fight back. But it seems that they shouldn't even been in the game come the end. Arsenal should have stolen that game.
Well, we're going to start firstly with VAR. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I'll say it again. Why do we need VAR?
I don't know, man. These guys can't use that shit.
Well, I believe personally at this present moment, I know it's only so what's it? It's probably version 1. It's not particularly used for making all decisions.
It's not.
Otherwise, we don't need refs to let people kick out the ball on the pitch, and we can sit there on screen and make decisions from distance.
But realistically, do we really need refs? Because they don't seem to make the right decision, and they don't seem to be backed up by VAR. So
this is the problem, because VAR is basically like the micromanaging person stepping on everyone's toes whilst the manager's actually in scene. That's what it looks like at the present moment. I do believe VAR is best used for certain things like offside decisions. That's black and white.
Yep, they are. And penalties?
Penalties, it depends on that. See, that's the grey area.
It is.
That's the ref's decision, and if it needs a second opinion, you can go to VAR. But that's an opinion, not actual black and white. Offside's not an opinion. Offside is black and white.
Yes, it is.
And that's the problem I have with VAR. Because if you have a room full of Robbie Savages and Jamie Redknapp's, how are you going to get an actual fact decision made? And you got people like, as you could tell, Bull Spaz didn't right. Those people glam up football. And they don't particularly have anything solid or substance. Or it's just opinions.
That's very true.
And the problem I have with VAR is when it goes to the VAR room for a decision, it's people going, nah, John, see, the thing is, right, I think it's gone, look at his foot though, nah, that's a shadow, John, nah, listen to me. Then people are in the VAR room making decisions. I'm probably more aggrieved more than anyone else at the moment because my team suffered to VAR.
So let's go through what happened in the game because you guys went
with a bright start.
2-0 up, right?
2-0 up.
How quick was that?
I think in the first 10, 15, it was 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Probably even sooner. And after it went up so quick, we played nice. We had a bit of flair, but our decision making defense is poor. We shouldn't be so poor. We had Socrates. Mm-hmm. That guy is no nonsense. Like you won't believe. He's old school.
Yeah.
He's like, I keep one now. There's man in the way. No matter, he's one of those. He don't care for what's happening. He's old school. David Luiz was brought in to solve our defensive problems. He solved nothing. He's just a modern day. What's his name? The one that plays for Europa now.
Who's that?
See, I forgot his name.
Senderos?
Mustafi. Not Mustafi?
That could be a mistake. But you know what? To be honest,
if you know Arsenal fan, you know I'm talking about that defender that causes all the mistakes. It seems now that David Luiz is looking to go and take his mantle because the amount of penalties he's given away since he come. All right, but then bam, both of them scored today. Brilliant, absolutely wonderful. They both scored.
So tell me what was it was Luiz that scored first, yeah?
Socrates scored first.
Okay, how was that? What was that goal? Corner?
That was a decent goal. And he put it away nicely and told it David Luiz. It was 2-0 up. It's weird to see our defender score because you used to see the striker score. So from an Arsenal fan, anyone but Aubameyang scoring is a blessing because that guy saves us regularly.
That's true.
Right, so as far as I'm concerned, if he can score, that's brilliant. If anyone else can score, that's what should happen. We don't need to be having all these people trying to depend on Aubameyang.
Mm.
Next thing, we give away a penalty. All right. And it was something to where it was back and forth because originally, first off, it wasn't a penalty. It was a yellow card to Zaha for simulation. And then he went to VAR. And VAR said, "You know what, Arsenal? In all honesty, your mum," and came back and gave a penalty, and a yellow card was rescinded. Fair enough. Then they scored the goal, 2-1, and then Arsenal got sloppy at the back. And I think this Arsenal team could be brilliant, providing we find another attacking midfielder or playmaker and sort our defence out.
But don't your man's got Ozil in the back though?
Who's that? So basically, we Ozil, I'll come to that in a minute. We went up 3-2, having a celebration. Everyone's going, "I have the time of..." Hold up, pull up the music. Needle scratch. This was the board saying goal checking, whatever from VAR. And then it came back, no goal disallowed, goal rescinded, whatever you want to call it, because of a foul. And if you ever saw the foul, it was like, it's a coming together. It wasn't something that stopped anything happening. The same situation would have played out regardless where man put his foot, because meant to be a stamp on his foot. Whether his foot was left of his foot, right of his foot, or centre landing on his foot, it didn't particularly matter. They scored the goal. We scored the goal and we moved on. But they disallowed it and we drew the game 2-2. Must say though, in Palace's favour, we could have still won it 3-2. But I think from Socrates, but there was a brilliant save from their keeper.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the keeper they have.
It's probably Hennessy.
Cavonia.
Yeah.
Some cognac name.
Hey.
Let's call him VSOP.
To be honest, we're not even drinking today.
I know.
You know?
Walked into your house, nothing, no service, nothing. Sorry.
I'm sorry, fam. In the interlude, we'll sort that out.
Yeah, but Ozil's case, it seems to have to be mentioned that what's happened with Ozil simply is the manager said, "I'm not playing you for nothing."
What's that about?
No games. I don't know what's happened or occurred or what's gone on or what's gone down, but it's quite obvious that not only has the manager dropped him, but he has the backing of Arsenal on top of that. That's different. People behind the scenes, people in the boardroom said, "Yes, drop him. Done that guy." I don't know whether it's going to be for a part-time thing or, just for the time being or indefinitely, or we're trying to get rid of him and he's not playing again for Arsenal. He must have said something to someone about something.
But the thing is, with the amount of money that you're paying Ozil, and you're not playing him, so you're not putting him in the shop window. There's no one that's gonna buy a player that's not played all year.
No, there isn't.
So,
but he is playing. He's playing Fortnite. He's playing FIFA. He's getting high legally. I mean, respectfully, he's done nothing but taken liberties. And he's the highest paid player in Arsenal. And he's taken nothing but liberties. And under Arsene Wenger, you'd have got away with that. That's the difference. Under Arsene Wenger, you would have gone, Ozil is a good player. He has skills, He has his differences, but, we can do something. Okay, that's how we're going to But it does, isn't it? I kick football for Arsenal, Adebayor, yes. Right. But respectfully, he's taken liberties. And Arsenal said, we're not having it. You can do whatever you want. I think Aziz could have signed it off, but he ain't here now. Arsene Wenger would have signed it off, but he ain't here now. And if you're going to act the guy that's going to be the idiot, you're going to sit on the sidelines. Play with the kids.
Yeah, but this is all well and good, but you need him.
But the problem is, this is why I do not like Ozil at present moment. I despise the guy at present moment. If I was to play football professionally, I'd be playing in his position. That's where I would like to play. Don't worry about being a striker. That's not for me. I've tried being a right wing. I ain't got the pace for that anymore, right? But for me, when I get the ball, the first thing I do is I see from my peripheral. I see you down the right space and the further space on my right side of my head. I see you over there. I'm gonna put this ball right in your path. That's what I do. Who set you up?
So dude, let me stop you right there. You know that you're like 40 now, right?
Yeah.
So you would have retired by now. You ain't no James Milner, my friend.
Listen, there's other people that are kicking ball past 40. You know, I don't know. No, I wouldn't have done that. Forget that. No, but respectfully, if I had a chance to play football, I'd be playing in his position, to pass, to flick, to move to the engine of the team. And our engines are getting high legally. That's the problem. For Arsenal, if you watch how we play now, we play down the wings and long ball, and that's never Arsenal. Arsenal is about creativity, two-touch passes at best game, two-touch passes.
Let me correct you there, right there. Under George Graham, he was hoofly ball. Yeah? It's only at the advent of Bruce Rioch, and then after him, you had Arsene Wenger, that you started playing proper football. Yeah? But, you know what I mean? If you look at the good teams, they can blend the two.
See, that's the thing. And we did. At one point, Arsenal passed the ball, so I chucked. But we also used to kick it up to Giroud. He used to hold it up and then pass the ball. But at the present moment, we have no one going for a middle. And Ceballos, I like him, but he's not Premiership ready yet. He can be a live wire. The problem with Ceballos is he needs space. Mm-hmm. And if you give him space, he can be blinded. Mm-hmm. The Premiership won't allow you space unless it's sitting off you. And in the Spanish league, you can do that. In the Italian league, you can do that. But in the Premiership, you'll get someone coming in with some studs. Sit there long enough with the ball, talking about, I got move the ball to the left and then back to the right, and I kick the part. No, you tackle by now, my friend. You talk too long. And that's just the problem with Ceballos at this moment. He's got the ability. He just got to play a bit more quicker. The problem with Arsenal right now, because of no creativity, we're playing too pedestrian. We're playing slow. If you saw our win against Victoria Cordia Concrescent, which is actually our motive back of our shirt, it's not actually a team. It means victory through harmony. Those who are Arsenal fans who know. Looking back at your shirt, I believe. If you saw that game you won, first half was just slow pace. Slow football. Everyone was not even jogging, we were walking. It was like a strong stride at best. And that's the problem. When we are static like that, we're easy to pick off, easy to watch play, easy to defend. We know it's going to come. I can attack you knowing that if I press you there and my guy's running over there, I've blocked off all your avenues. We took too long to figure a new one. We know how you're playing. And that's because we haven't got a playmaker. And to be quite honest, our defence isn't strong enough to do that with, to rely on, let alone play out from the back. Don't do that. Don't mind it, to be honest, but we're not strong enough to do that this year. But it's just the fact that we need Ozil. It is evident we do. Mm-hmm. But Ozil needs to find Ozil because he's lost in the wilderness, and we need to find that guy. If Ozil came in like how he did in his first season, looking to set everything that ran, find a through ball for everything, we'd be killing this right now. We'd be doing a lot better than what we are anyway. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we are trying to find our way. Meanwhile, Ozil is trying to find, the snack cupboard in between his Fortnite games. I finished the campaign and we got bathroom for a second.
I think we're being bad on Ozil. I think
we are.
But let's put it this way. When we first signed Firmino, right, we didn't have the players around him that were on the same level. So when we tried to play a certain way, it looked bad because the players weren't on the same level. So when we got the players around him that were the same level, you get to see the best of Firmino because the players are thinking that little bit faster. And I think now that you've got a banger man on one side and Lacazette on the other, And you got Ceballos who can get the ball to an Ozil real quick. You know, I think you've got at least three players that two are definitely version of world class, right? And then you've got Ozil that can pull the strings. You know, so I think that in this team he would do a lot better because they got pace in the key areas. You know, down the wings, down the fullback. You know, I think we've got to see what Pepe's saying because the problem that you have with Pepe and Ceballos is that you couldn't do what Liverpool did with Fabinho or an Oxlade-Chamberlain because you guys had to put him out there straight away. Straight away.
So show me your money. Good. Show me that price tag.
Yeah.
And the guy is having a hard time with that because, I mean, you don't come for scoring 20 goals in the league to come and go, I remember to play football. You don't do that. And I think Pepe's issue is that he's trying to be too safe. That's my my understanding of him. He's not trying to, you know what, I'm going to do a mad thing, see if I can score a goal. He's like, how can I benefit the team without losing the ball and everyone booing? I don't want to be seen that I'm a 70-odd million pound flop. That's what he's trying to do. And he's playing safe. And I think, well, in essence, that's understandable. But there comes a point in time where you said, you know what, I'm going to shake this off and show what I've got. Scored two absolutely cracking free kicks.
Yeah, I saw those. Those were real nice.
They scored two good free kicks.
How was he today?
Today, took a free kick, went over the bar. The game didn't provide him the space he needed to do what he did against Victoria because when he came on for Lacazette, I thought, okay, all right. So we're not going to win this one, then, yeah? We're going for not even a draw.
So he didn't start.
He started.
He started and the Lacazette came.
I believe he started. He started, but he didn't actually play as prolifically. Well, he came on. This is what I was saying about what I was saying to someone about with Pepe. I personally was bringing him on, as you were just saying a while ago, how you with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I personally would bring him on midway past second half. Say, okay, take that person on, go get a little running. That way, the pressure's not as much. We're not saying pressure's off. It's not as much. Just go out and have a run. Go kick about. Yeah. Do something. I mean, it's not going to be something to where we're going to go, Pepe's the reason why we lost this game if we're 2-0 down and it's 74 minutes. We're not going to say that.
Yeah.
We're going to say, do you know what? The team has lost this game and here comes Pepe as well. The blame really isn't sitting with him because he hasn't caused the 2 goals to been scored against us and the reason why we haven't put any. So I think that's what happened with Victoria. He came on and said, I'm about. Well, what's the worst that can happen? Put 2 free kicks in with no pressure. Well, yeah, there was pressure. I'll give him that. But there wasn't as much as it would be if you'd been running around the whole game, missed a chance to score an open goal, which he did the other day. Wasn't open.
Yeah, so it was so difficult chance.
It was difficult, but he used the wrong foot. He used it. A ball came in from the left-hand side. He was standing more to the left of the goal, more of the goals to his right-hand side. He used his left foot. And any person that's ever scored a goal, often enough, will know you trap it with your right. You can change the direction of the ball far easier with your right foot coming on from the left than what you do with your left foot. All you do is bounce off and go further on in this direction. You're not doing very much.
I'll say this, I mean, the Maverick players, they don't do things easy. So if he had done that wrong foot and scored it, people would be like, wow.
That's what I was saying, to where if he had scored that goal, it was like, oh my gosh, it's the same Pepe that would be the same Pepe if he missed it. Still got the same skill, the same attributes.
Remember Pepe jeans? Right. So let's get back to the game today. So, anything else happened in the game?
The game, respectfully, it wasn't the most blinding game.
Mm-hmm.
Respect in any count, we shouldn't be going 2-0 up and drawing 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, not going to lose sight of
that. So far, it's 9 games in?
And
I would say, how do you feel that your season is going to go?
The issue I have at present moment is that Emery's trying to find not just one formation that is his best players of defence. He's trying to find difference. So he's finding that these lot work, but he's going to pay those lot to get into that level. And the theory of that's brilliant. But if they are not at the level of the others, don't play them. Play the ones that are good. Because we are hemorrhaging points and we keep conceding goals. And when we get to a place to where we can be confident enough to say, let's start tinkering. Then start tinkering. But at present moment, you can't tinker. If we have solid defence in I'm not saying solid, Socrates and Chambers and you start tinkering around that and start, okay, well, let's put in Mustafi and no, don't do that. Just stick with the people that are developing in that position. Then you start putting that people, and then the guy I really feel sorry for is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because that guy is not a defender, but most games he's played this season is in defence.
So, what is he really?
If I can remember, I think it's a defence mid. He's a midfielder.
Okay.
Midfielder at trade.
Okay.
And we've gone, do you know what? We ain't got no players. Let's play with defence. And he's been spoken of like he's the worst defender ever, and he's not a defender. Poor guy. If I can find out his position, I'll let you know. But he has been dropped. Everyone say, well, respectfully, his season's done, and he's not really good enough to play football. And he's a midfielder. He's registered in Arsenal's website as a midfielder, a versatile midfielder, playing in defence. Meanwhile, we got Bellerin and we got Tierney, who we had to fight Celtic for hand and tooth until someone's like, okay, take him. And we took that's more Irish.
That was like a Jamaican Irish.
That was Irish.
You
sure? And I drunk here. But yeah, we had to fight Celtic for him, and we got him eventually, signed him, had to wait for him to come out from injury. He's back. His first debut game in the Premiership was today.
Oh, really?
Really.
I thought he's been fit for a minute, though.
He's been fit for a while, but we've been dipping him in the middle of Europa. When we have played him, we've turned and gone, okay, cool. So you played in Europa, you can't really play in the Premiership game because we're trying to make sure you stay fit. So we won't play him. Then we play Ainsley Maitland-Niles and say, kid, run up and down for me. And he can't. And the thing is, I like that guy because his temperament isn't to be flair and flamboyant. He doesn't want to be seen on camera. He's come to do a job.
Yeah. His
whole temperament is, I come to do my job. And he's not been given a chance to do it well. Bellerin, I don't know what that guy is doing at the present moment, but he's not playing consistently enough. And if we have a consistent defence of Tierney and Bellerin, in that present moment, I'm not entirely too sure who's going to be in the centre backs. I don't know who's going to be those. Maybe it's Chambers, or maybe it's not definitely his mum. No. Socrates, I would put in there.
But what would you think that David Luiz will be better at defensive mid?
That is a good point.
Was that he was at defensive mid for a minute?
I would play him at defensive mid for Xhaka.
What, better choice? Yeah.
Better choice. Xhaka's a good, really good defensive mid footballer. Brilliant. If it was 1998.
Wow, that bad. He's
Emmanuel Petit. Not exactly Vieira, just shades underneath it. Probably forget about him if he was to leave Arsenal. It's not someone you put a statue outside for, but he'll kick a man down if you need to and get involved in the scraps. We got away with that in 98. people like Ray Parlour would do that. Ray Parlour, East London Pele will come and put a side tackle on you that'll probably damage they'll dislocate your shin pads, break your laces, right? And he come in and go, yo, what, mate, what? And walk off again. We got away with that back in '98.
Yeah.
Can't do it today.
Yeah.
Not today's kind of player. Not he's everything Arsenal's not. Pass and move, he can't pass, he definitely don't move. The only thing that's really good about him is he'll put in a good tackle if need to be, but then the bad thing about him is he'll put a good tackle in when he don't need to be. Right. He's got a good shot, never see it. He's captain. I don't understand. Don't get it. Personally, it may be too soon for it, if I'm going to be real. A captain in the making for Arsenal is Guendouzi. That guy there he looks like a Vieira-esque kind of player. He's just growing from strength to strength per game.
Yeah, but...
Took one for the team today.
He did take one for the team. I saw that the Palace boys were about to beat his ass
and
on that pitch.
Like I said, he was ready for that beating.
Yeah,
It was like, if I do this, I get beat up. In I go.
Yeah. Took one for the team because Zaha was about to put them boosters on him.
And he was about to jet off. He was like, he considered all factors. He said, you know what, we could lose 3-2 right here. Wait. They're going to say we should have put Zaha instead of Pepe. No. I'm going to protect my boy. Take him out. And they just took him to the floor. Some WWF business.
Sorry, no, WWE. Dude, that was such a tackle. I mean, literally was like, yeah, fam, you're not getting past me.
Took him out.
I'm taking you out. Figure 8 lock.
It took him out. It went to a sleeper hole. It took him out. That's all right.
He grabbed him like a face hugger.
Listen, I've seen people hit the floor slower from Mike Tyson fight. My guy knocked him quick to the floor. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Took him for the team. But I'd put him in. He works. He plays. He puts heart in it, passion. He has vision. Even though he may not pass correctly the whole time, for me, he holds on to the ball a bit too longer than what he needs to. If you can see a pass, make that pass. If you can benefit from a run, make that run happen. Don't try to keep a hold of the ball for a couple more dribbles. Pass that ball, and he might do that.
But I think, you know what, we've got to look at it from a perspective of, he was French Division 2 last year?
Yeah, he was.
So, was it last year or the year before?
2 years ago. It's the second season for Arsenal.
Yeah, so last year. Yeah, no, you bought him at the beginning of the season. So when Emery came in. So I would say you would have to look at his progression as a player that is now starting to he's probably still a little bit behind in terms of Premiership pace and being able to play at that level consistently. But you know what? I've liked him from the time that you got him. I thought, you know what? He looks a tidy player.
When we first got him, I preferred I looked at him and I thought he was all right, but I thought I preferred Torreira to him. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. I preferred Torreira to him, and it seems right at this moment Torreira is dipping off the scene. He's not as prolific as he was when he first joined. He was a bulldog.
Yeah.
And now he's just a dog.
Oh damn! He slept that far.
Okay, no. That's very rude. No, he's still got it. It still makes. I personally will have my first team pivot on 2 defensive midfielders of Guendouzi and that guy there. Torreira has the ability to pick up Guendouzi. They play well. One goes forward, one will hold back a little. Whereas Xhaka has not got that mentality. He has a misplaced sense of entitlement sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's forward when he needs to be there. Here's what I mean when I play misplaced sense of entitlement. He believes he should be in the thick of the action. And then when we turn over the ball, being up in the other half of the pitch, outside the 18-yard box, going back and forth, trying to find a way in, lose possession, and they break on us, there's one person or 2 people behind who's like held back just in case someone breaks on us, so it's not a run straight to the goal, and they are exposed because our defence midfield is meant to be blocking up all the spills is in the middle of the box with everybody else.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, well, what's the point in having this guy play? He don't track back as well. He doesn't. That's why I said about. That's why I was saying about. I forgot his name now. It's mentioned not Tierney.
Bellerin?
Not Bellerin. Just mention his name.
Now.
Terrell.
Okay.
That's why I like him, because he would run back to get that ball back. He would run down, put a tackle, clear the possession out, do something. But Xhaka will just run back with the person to make sure they're escorted down. There's a nice little chaperone down to our goal. You gonna shoot? Oh, you scored. Well done, mate. Well done, you. You don't actually. And then what will happen is he'll either do that or he'll run all the way back from wherever in deep in their half, all the way down inside our goal half, inside our goal, then side tackle, miss the ball, take the person's shoe off, calls a penalty, then look dumb at the referee like, if what? You're ridiculous.
I don't have anything to say about that, because
listen, what it is today my team lost, and
you didn't lose, you drew.
We lost. We just don't give 2 goals away like that. We don't.
It's a point. It's a point game.
It's a point game. It is. But at the end of the day, they all count. But at the same time, we should have 3, because we were 2-0 up, and respectfully, that should have been us clear.
How many points you got for the season so far?
15? No. Chelsea's on 20 and we're 5th. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, because I see it as, I think there's a space, or 60. At least there's actually a space for someone to sneak into 4th.
Though the thing is, considering how the tables look at present moment, just checked it. Liverpool some at the top for some reason.
Don't hate, man. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Them people there. Man City are 2nd. Liverpool's on 28.
Yep.
Man City's on 22.
Yep.
Leicester and Chelsea both on 20. And then in 5th is Arsenal on 16. But then there's Palace on 15. Now, you could say how in those setup there, Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea and Arsenal look to be the natural people to take the top 4.
Yeah.
But Leicester was there because they put the sword to Southampton.
Oh man,
the sword to Southampton.
They bust Southampton.
The sword to Southampton. Wow. If I was a Southampton defender, as much as I just cursed mine out, I would be in tears, guys. I can't do it. I'm gonna go to the doctors. I'm gonna get a sick note for a month, stress-related work sickness. I'm gonna put it in. I can't come. I've got trauma. If I was, do you know that almost, as you mentioned earlier, almost 3 people got a hat trick. 2 people got a hat trick, and the other one's on 2 goals.
Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't it?
That's enough to put any defender on a bed somewhere, speaking to a man in a white coat, going, "It all started when I was young." Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true, because I've seen a lot of things in football, yeah, but I've never seen a team where 3 players almost got hat tricks. Well, 2 got hat tricks, definitely. The 3rd one almost got a hat trick. So. Yeah, that is football. That's FIFA. That is FIFA level.
Honestly, wanted to get another one to make it 10.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All I want to say is, you know what? You know you had a bad day in the office, but you look at the goal scored against you and it's written down. On match of the day. It's mine, in brackets, NINE, like if you don't know what that number is.
That man can't count on that.
That's when someone's there going, yes, seriously, actual 9. It's not a glitch. We're going to write it underneath to show you it wasn't a glitch. NINE is on purpose, 9.
You know what I mean? Dude, some of those goals that after Bertrand got sent off, and he definitely deserved to.
He did.
Raise
his studs, can't do that.
Yeah. And it was late. Yeah, I mean, he was reaching for the ball, and this is what happens when.
No apology either.
Yeah, well, what can you do? It's done. But Perez, you know what I mean, it looked like if he was going to go off, and then he said, you know what, I'm staying on.
I like how you do Perez. I think he's done a good move. To go to Leicester from Newcastle, I thought to myself he was a good player for Newcastle.
He was?
He's going to a team that's going to provide him a load of goals.
I think when he first came to Newcastle, he looked a player because he was an unknown quantity, and as a striker, it's very good to be an unknown quantity. Now, the problem that he has, is that with him, he doesn't score as much as he should.
He don't.
You know what I mean? I think that he should score a lot more goals, but he doesn't score. He doesn't score as much as he should.
It's like them. You don't expect Pookie to score every game like he would do, Aguero or someone. But at the same time, you say, "Well done, mate, for scoring," and you seem to say, "Well done, mate," to Ayazin Perez 1 or 2 times more than you expected.
Yeah,
that's why I go. It's good because would I buy him? Hell no, not in my team. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
Would Liverpool have him? No, definitely not. He would make the cut at Man City. He might make Man United team, but they need the help.
They need all the help they can get.
But at the same time, he scores a few. He moves himself around. He's known.
Yeah.
And if he can keep that up, he just might be able to slot in a Mahrez-ish kind of place, or Mahrez' score tally for Leicester. Brilliant. They said he went scoring goals, came and scored a hat-trick. So then put his fingers in his ears to say, hey, listen to none of you people, none of you critics. But Southampton, don't blame the sending off. Yeah. You don't forget how to play football because one man left the pitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
It's true. At 5-0, they should have been able to shut up shop. Totally.
At 5-0, what they should have done was quit the game and press X. And turn the game off. Roll the cartridge. That's what they should have done.
Well, boy, they should have taken their ball and left.
They should have taken the...
Yeah, we're not coming out.
They should have checked their plug.
Literally, what is the score line that they would have had if they had walked off there? Because it's the same outcome.
I mean, respectfully, it would have been something like a 3-0 deposit, and they would have been charged, I think. Definitely would have been charged. Yeah, but I get point stopped. But respectfully, I mean, I know it's bad sportsmanship, but people walking out in the first 20 minutes. Can you imagine you come to watch your team play and you begin to walk out in the first 20 minutes? Might I also add, you got beat 9 goals at your own home?
That's crazy.
Your own ground?
Shit.
These people came to your turf, to your blades of grass, and put 9 goals in your yard? Wow. People came to watch their team play and was like, no. I was there going, not enough one. Not enough of that. I'm at 4 now.
Did you see the Perez goal where they crossed it deep? So it kind of went across the pitch, and then they crossed it deep, and he came on the backside.
And you put it right to the roof.
Volleyed it. Oh, that goal was...
On a half volley.
Yeah, that goal was beautiful.
And a half volley.
That goal was beautiful.
It reminded me of... If you watch it back now, I guarantee on connection, you can hear, almost hear Dave Thompson.
Why? Yeah, that was serious.
He put all his soul into that.
Oh man, he absolutely lashed out.
That was a nice goal. Then, I mean, what's really bad is Southampton are they're in relegation, 8 points, and on 12 points. Yes, 12 points. 4 points above 8 points is Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, let's go into the Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. Actually, let's start.
Nice.
It's Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. And I sat and I watched this game.
So did I. Bits and parts.
Yeah, what I mean? We're sofa fans. So we watched this from the sofa. And for me, I actually missed the goal. As I missed the first goal. Literally, dude. I walked in to the house after I come back from Croydon.
Yeah.
And so it was 1-0. And I was like, are you serious? What the hell's happened here?
47 seconds.
And the thing is, I was reading some of the comments, and like, some people were talking about, oh, you expect an error from Lovren. And the thing is, Lovren did what he should have done. And then we talking about total luck, what happens afterwards. You know, because the ball hits him. So Lovren goes to head it. It goes against the post, back into play.
Bam.
Yeah. And you can't legislate for that. There's nothing on a football manual that you can actually say, you know what, this actually can happen. It can happen in a game, but you can't plan for it.
Because the thing is, and here's the thinking of it, from my thinking anyway, my opinion, whether you believe it to be right or wrong. When the ball's crossed in, you might play an offside trap.
Well, actually, I think the Son went for the shot, though, wasn't he? Or was it shotgun cross? Yeah,
he went for the shot.
He went for the shot, yeah.
So, respectfully, there's not much you can do about a shot coming in if it's past your defence.
Yeah.
Your defence can't, well, you can block shots, but, you know, the keeper's there for a particular reason.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Came off the crossbar, right? By this time, you're hoping to go back forward towards your goal. You're hoping the keeper can save or whatever spills. You're static to watch what's going to happen. You don't want to preempt to move.
Exactly.
But as a striker running towards a goal, you run towards the goal.
Anyway, because that's the way you're facing.
You're facing that way. But for me, you just run that way because if the keeper does spill the goal, you're not going to be ready for it if you're other side of the fence. Exactly. You run towards to get amongst each other, see what happens. Lucky for them, they picked one off and they scored.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't a chance created. It was a luck or fluke goal. Exactly. Which is a different thing. Because when you create chances and score chances, you can create more. But if you get luck, how much luck are you going to have in a game to score goals from?
Exactly. And this is what happened in the rest of the game, because what you saw from Tottenham came into that game to defend and try to hit us on the break. They played a 4-2-3-1 formation. And if there's one person that knows how to play against that formation,
Liverpool.
Jurgen Klopp. It was his formation at Dortmund.
It was.
So he knows how to break it down. And the thing is, even though Tottenham had 5 in the midfield when they were defending, and they defended a hell of a lot.
Yeah, they did.
If you watch this game, you will see the genius of Trent Alexander. You will see the speed and the guile of Andy Robertson, even if I can get that one right, it is Robertson, not Robinson.
I was called Tierney, the other guy. I forgot his name again.
I know.
Jeez.
Karen.
No.
Who's the guy?
Torreira.
Don't worry about him. We're on Liverpool.
I like him though.
We're on Liverpool. So you will see the genius of those guys when they started to stretch this game, because for the rest of that half, it was all Liverpool. Tottenham had little moments where they broke out and they tried to get amongst us. But for the rest of that game, Tottenham did absolutely nothing until we scored the goal that equalised, and that goal was coming. I mean, literally, we probably had enough chances to win 2 games, let alone 1. Because I think by probably about the 60th minute, their keeper had saved 10 chances. 10 shots, which was the most in the Premiership this season.
Yeah, he had 30 shots on target.
Yeah. How many do we have total?
In total, 16.
That's ridiculous.
Compared to they had 5 shots.
No corners, yeah? Or 1 corner?
There's 3 corners.
Right? So, how much was the possession?
There's 31%.
So they came to sit back and look. I will always say this. As a fan, right? You want your team to go out, and if they've got a philosophy, go out and play on it. Now, there's ways to tweak it, and still look like you're going for the win or you're going toe to toe. So even when I think Tottenham played Man City, they still looked like they were going for it.
Yeah.
So you can never fault them. But this game, they got the goal and they tried to shut up shop, like if they were good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And when you're not good enough to do that, you invite pressure onto yourself.
But they have internal issues also. Like, for an example, Christian Eriksen played. First time he played in a while. Reason why I believe he played was because Vertonghen was dropped.
Yeah.
There's such disparity in the change room. If I was Tottenham, I'd let go one of them as soon as possible. January opens up, let go one of them because it's not doing your team any justice, and you're 4 points from the top of relegation.
Yeah, that's not even the top of the table. The top of relegation.
Top of relegation, just 4 points above relegation, and it's a thing to where, for me, Watford, Norwich, and Southampton in relegation. You don't want to get caught into that fight. Because underneath them is Wolves, Burnley, Brighton, Aston Villa, Everton, and Newcastle, and they will pick points up.
Oh, they know how to play this kind of game. They will
pick points up.
Yeah.
Tottenham are in a spiral, they're spinning, and they nicked a cheeky goal and try to sit back at a cheeky goal because if they go forward and attack, it could be nightmares.
That's true.
They remember playing Bayern Munich, and it was nightmares.
Well, you know what? They actually played. They stuck to a game plan today.
That's what they did.
They stuck to a game plan, but the thing is, when they dropped off, and when you go into the mindset of being defensive, it's very hard to spring out and become attacking. You can't become attack-minded.
Which I say wasn't there. Their game's expansive.
Yeah.
And they didn't play that.
Yeah, because I was kind of surprised when I saw Eriksen playing. I thought they would have gone for a little bit more width, or even a little bit more guile with Moura playing. So
he's played for a while.
Yeah, but I like him as a player.
Idiot for going to that team.
Oh, big time.
Eriksen as well for that matter.
Yeah.
Kane's leaving. Kane's gone. That team is the thing about Tottenham, and you can say about most teams really, but more so about Tottenham, is they're only about a couple players deep.
That's true.
Kane, Dele Alli, Vertonghen, the keeper's out, Loris. Then you got Eriksen and Moura. After that, who have you really got? Take it back, Son. After that, who have you really got?
Well, I'll say this. I think, right,
who from that team, after the people I've mentioned, will walk from Tottenham's team into yours? Who did? If Tottenham had a fire sale and said you can't take Lucas Moura, you can't take Lloris, you can't take Vertonghen or Harry Kane or Son or Dele Alli.
There's no one else that you want from that team,
right? There are only a few players deep.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is Son's looking to leave. He wants to leave at the soonest. And Toby Alderweireld, who I do think is a decent defender, is not making the team regularly.
Yeah.
He wants to leave. Lloris is out until some deep into next season after dislocating his elbow. That's nasty.
Oh man, I saw that. That was crazy.
That's wolf.
And he's in my fantasy league team. I can't even change him because there's no other good goalies. I pick a goalie that costs me points every damn week. But that's neither here nor there.
Then after that, you got people in that team who they will do a thing for you. No reason to why you need to hear any noise from Danny Rose. Sit down.
Because the thing is, where
pick anyone else? Because that team isn't that deep. It isn't that much that deep. You will see the cracks in it far quicker than you would do another team. Where you will see that if Liverpool were to have an issue with Mane, you might say, okay, it's cool, but you might dip in and change the formation structure and make it work somehow. Tottenham can't do that.
But this is what
with their £1 billion stadium.
This is what we need to look at when it comes to. I know you do. This is what we've got to look at when we look at Tottenham. Tottenham are a team that are starting to slide out of their peak years.
Yep.
So a lot of those players, they needed to at least register one win in something major in that time when they were good. So those times when they were challenging for the title and slightly falling out, they needed to get a title won or a cup two. They did none of those things, and those players don't believe in that game. Maybe because that their bodies can't do it anymore in terms of the amount of pressing that they have to do, or they just don't believe in the coach.
It's a mixture of both, but there's also other aspects to it. I mean, if you can't particularly have a goodwill payout. You can't do something and expect good to happen. You do good because you think good's right to be done, rather than saying, I do good, so therefore I should get good things.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, to when you do good things should follow. Mm-hmm. If you work hard, you should see results.
That's true.
If you put in the effort, it should come to fruition.
Yeah.
It should do. That's just the way how things are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have had a few good seasons in it.
Oh yeah, they've put in that work.
They have done. They've gone from those people who used to finish in Europa talking about we're going to come for Arsenal to actually causing a problem to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Actually finishing above Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they haven't anything to show for it.
Yeah. And right now, they are a better team than Arsenal right now.
At present moment, they are consistently putting out more results than Arsenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Arsenal, they haven't the resource to patch up whatever issues they have and fix and learn from it. Whatever issues Arsenal going through, we consistently find the same problems the season afterwards. And we find we've got a problem with our defence. So we've got to splash out on a new midfielder, we splash out an attacking striker, or a wing back, a wing forward. We go buy 2 defensive midfielders. We buy everything. We might buy a defender here and there, but we haven't sorted out. Bin all the little idiot people in our team. I've got ethnic. Bin those people. Get rid of Mustafi's on the payroll. If we can get rid of him, just go find some centre backs that are strong and resolute that don't need to run forward. Arsenal's a problem. We're coming back to Arsenal.
I know we have.
Arsenal's got an issue to where we need to have like runners run forward, and we don't really defend back as well. But Tottenham, they have performed, and they have got to the Champions League final, beating good teams on the way.
Yeah.
And they've got Bus in the final. It was like
we found a way to rob them. Even though we didn't play well, we found a way to win. And
they robbed themselves.
Yeah. Oh no, they did. But at the same time, we had enough experience by that time to know how to win that game.
Yeah, the Champions League is the Liverpool are a cup team.
Yeah.
You were a cup team. You know how to get the win at the end.
Yeah. Because that is 3 finals. That up to that final it was 2 finals. So we had the European final, then we had the Champions League final the season after that, and then we had the Champions League win the season after that. So we were consistently getting into those finals.
Yeah,
we might have slipped up. So what was good was that we didn't get that win at the very beginning, because that when Rafa got that win in Istanbul at the beginning of his reign, it didn't really give him enough to continue building the team.
He said, I've made my mark. I've achieved.
No, it wasn't even that, because the then owners, they didn't want to give him the money to strengthen the team.
Well, why would he? He won Champions League.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly. So what was happening was that while we were building the team, we built from front to back. which you know what I mean. Most people were like, Mourinho's like, I'm gonna sort the defense out. Klopp was like, nope, we're gonna score as many goals as possible, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna build the back out afterwards. But the thing is, going to these finals kind of showed the little flaws in the team. So that team, when we lost to Real Madrid, it showed that we were kind of naive in certain points, and we were short in the squad as well. So we went out, we bought a couple more players, and the problem that Tottenham have, and they never addressed this, is when we went shopping, we went for players that could play in the team, and then go for players that will play in the squad. There's a big difference. So like those players that were in the squad should be fighting for their space. So you look at Liverpool, all those players that are in that first team squad, and we're talking about all 22, they have all legitimate claims. Probably about 95% of them to be in first team. You know what I mean? So they all have claims that they should be in the team.
Starting the game.
Yeah. Week in, week out. So that's why when you see Klopp chop out the midfield or chop out sometimes the forward line to a lesser effect, it doesn't really affect the way that we play. So this is the problem that Tottenham have. So let's get back to this game though. They came to just frustrate, try to nick one in the break, and they almost got a second one when, like, early in the second half when Son went through and hit the crossbar. Right, rather the keeper hit the crossbar, and I thought that was very. Ronnie Rosenthal that, to be honest, it wasn't as bad as Ronnie Rosenthal, but it was still bad because I thought he had enough to roll that into the back of the net. I'll have to see it again tonight on Match of the Day or something, but I thought he had enough to just roll that in, but he went for power.
And that took away. I mean, if they scored that, then they'd been reared from that. That would have been they would have felt some guile to go forth and at least try to hold on to the points, hold on to something. Instead, what I believe the issue Tottenham have is their belief. We've been playing well for how long now?
We've got nothing. Yeah, of course, and this happens to all the best teams.
It does, But then when it comes to the best teams, it's that okay. So how are we gonna bolster this? How are we gonna rejuvenate this? How are we gonna put something into? What's happening? How are we gonna sew into this team? What's happening? Because we are trying to do this, and we have a good spine, but we haven't got a very good team in all positions. How are we going to get to how we've got good players everywhere and on the bench as well? What's happened with that? And they haven't got that. And I think, respectfully, they've proven they can score without Kane. And that's because Kane's on the bench. If Kane was to leave, that's a different mentality of missing altogether.
Oh, that's they would have to
while
replace.
Kane's on the bench.
Yeah.
It's hard to know to score while Kane's not in the team at all, especially if Kane turns up against them. And I believe Kane might go to main line. I have an opinion. The reason why is because I know Man United have the ends to pay over the top money for an idiot player. Not to say Pogba, but sometimes they pay over the top money, even in price tag or in wages. I'm not gonna say Sanchez, but they have the means to pay the money. And when they do that, what's going to happen is they'll say, how much do you want for Kane? X amount. Bam, bam, bam. There's X amount. Why? We sold Lukaku. We was going to buy Diarra.
Oh, Dybala.
Diabolical. And he didn't come. And he didn't turn up. And now we have Marcus Rashford, who I believe at best is a support striker.
Yeah, wing forward at best.
Yeah. As a main striker.
Yeah,
he's a Phil Walcott trying to be a striker, and we all know how that played out.
Oh yeah. Right. When I saw them try to put when we played them a couple of weeks back, and they tried to put Rashford in for Firmino, I was like, what has Rashford done?
Yeah. He's at Man
Absolutely
United.
nothing.
If Rashford's at Everton, he'll be in the team.
Yeah.
But Rashford, when you go, okay, who do we've got some Arsenal players. Okay, let's look at Arsenal's team. Let's look at Liverpool's team. Let's look at Man United's team. That's what you do. To build up an England squad, you look at the best teams in England and see who's English in those teams. Pull them out. And it happens to be that Marcus Rashford, who's been decent under other people's wing as a support striker or a wing forward, is able to come into a team. But on his own, right now, this is what I call is back in the day players. You can hear this. Fabregas players to Nasri players. Fabregas, like Gerrard, will pull your team forward. Nasri will just enhance your team. So if you got a good team, it will make the team even more enhanced.
Yeah.
Whereas he won't pull your team forward. You won't depend on Nasri back in the day when he played for Arsenal to pick the team up by the scruff of the neck like Gerrard. You won't see that from him. You'd be shocked if you did. And that's the issue with Rashford for me. He's not able to say, I'm about, pass me the ball, I'm going to knock it in. That's what Lukaku did. And that's why I believe they're going to go over and pay money for any person, and it will be more sensible to buy someone who's seasoned in the Premiership. And if man wants to leave Tottenham, if I was Man United, I'd be stupid if I overlooked that chance.
Yeah, I think realistically, Kane at those teams, I can't see him going Man United on the basis that at this moment in time, Man United is a project on the Solskjaer. You know what I mean? That's a race to see who's going to get fired first between him, Poch, and who's the other guy. Another guy that I'm thinking of that might get fired soon.
The guy from Southampton.
No.
Get beaten 9 and hold your job. You're a bad man.
Anyway, you know, he's been doing well. You know what I mean? Who else can they bring him anyway?
What's that guy from Norwich, the manager from Norwich?
Oh, Favre.
Daniel Farke.
Yeah, I mean,
Daniel Farke.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Farke. You must have got to that school, fam.
Yeah, man.
But I do believe that it won't be the first time Tottenham's been taken from one of their best players, like Carrick, like Berbatov. They will, Man United just might take him.
Look, we
even Dele Alli. I don't know, one of them.
We already know this. We know that they're going to be doing a rebuild next season, and for them, Chelsea's going to be ahead of them because Chelsea have a young team. Man United may be on their way back with the young players that they brought through.
I think Chelsea's been doing pretty well.
Now they have been, but that Burnley game that they played, I mean, jumping off the Liverpool topic, that Burnley game, I thought that was a lot closer than it should have been, because if you see the amount of chances that Burnley had in that game, they had enough to actually.
Burnley were out the water early, then suddenly right at the death. Hold up a second, let's go 2. Hold up a second.
No, but even before that, they had a lot of chances still. They had still a lot of chances, and you were sitting there like, they had a lot of chances that you would be, you'd be when you saw the highlights back, you were very surprised. I was surprised that they had so many chances.
They had a few, and Burnley are a team that can defend out as well.
Yeah, and they're a big team.
The thing is that the Chelsea scored nice goals from angles.
Yeah,
they scored a few nice ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they're coming on to goal and it's 1-on-1 with the keeper. They scored some ones where you go, oh my god, he scored that. Oh, okay. Being the keeper on the stretch. That's nice. Yeah, he scored some nice angled goals.
Yeah.
But Chelsea, they're doing better than what I thought they was going to be. I thought no Hazard, and you got your ex-player as a manager. That don't play. I mean, I can't remember the last time an ex-player becoming a manager has worked out in recent times. I know it's been great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got Souness and everything, But in recent times, when I remember how Alan Shearer took Newcastle down to relegation. Well done, Alan. Good work. Yeah. I remember when Ryan Giggs came back to manage up in Man United. That didn't pan out too well.
Nah, didn't.
Don't particularly work out the best way. Hence why I didn't want Henry to come to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, not yet anyway. But he's been doing all right, and he's been doing a job. Doing a job. I mean, they're fourth. They're fourth. And you don't expect them to be 10 games. You don't expect them to be fourth. You don't. You expect them to be mid-table, struggling, but they're churning out the wins and they're scoring goals. For some reason, Willian remembers how to play football again. Willian's there going, oh, you kick this ball and you score goal. Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is fun. He's come back.
Oh, yeah. But the thing with Willian is that he always... When he's on song, he's a very difficult player to play.
He is.
Very difficult, but at the same time, I think for him, a lot of those players kind of had to get up to that level where he's kind of operating at to make him enthusiastic about playing football.
But he's got a few around him that can do that. Mount is a brilliant player.
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount.
Mount. Mound, you know.
Mound.
You make him sound like a porn star, fam.
Mason Mount. Mount. It's all bump in the road. Right. Yeah, but he's coming through with that. He's all right. He's got some decent crosses on him. They scored from a cross from Mason Mount. They're doing better than what they thought it was going to be. Whether they can hold up through the whole season, we'll see. But they're in Europa, right?
No, they're in Champions League.
They're in Champions League.
Yeah. Remember they beat you guys for it.
Yeah, the mums.
Yeah.
You know, I've completely blotted that out of my memory.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, let's put it back in the blotted part of the memory.
Yeah, so let's finish up this Liverpool game because before we even get to close this out, because we've jumped all over the place. Yeah. We've touched on everything. Tottenham, rubbish. They came to defend. They, once we got that goal through Henderson, they were still under the cosh for quite a bit, and they tried to get back into the game for a little bit. And this is where, if you didn't watch the whole game, you might get a match of the day edit where it looks like they were more in the game than they actually were. But once Aurier commits the foul on Mane, and he was unfortunate to give it away, it was just Mane was just quick enough to get back into space, and when he's going to clear the ball, he's taken out Mane. Yeah, but he can be a beast of a player going forward, but he's not commanded it yet.
He's a liability.
So
his penalties waiting to happen.
Well, between him and Sissoko, they got two.
Exactly.
So it's only after we scored that penalty and Mohamed Salah went up there and he scored the goal very nicely. The only thing is, every time that Mo takes a penalty, you're like, because he's not the best penalty taker in the world.
How is he not?
No, he's not.
No.
Because the thing is, maybe this is probably what works for him, is because he doesn't put them in the corners all the time.
Okay.
So this one, if the keeper dived one way, the way that it was going, he would have saved it.
Okay, so
literally was right,
slightly to the right at goalkeeper height.
I know it was along the floor, but it would have been one of those ones that if the keeper went that way, he would have saved it. But it went in. He's still taking the penalties, because Milner's not there. So once we got that goal,
Milner, is he injured?
Milner?
Yeah.
No. We bring in them once in a while. So that He played. He didn't play the week. He played the week before.
Ain't he like 50 now? Is he not 50 or something, James?
No, he's 33.
33.
Yeah, remember that?
With that face.
Yeah.
All right.
Milner's been.
Show you what Coco look like.
Milner's been around for a long. He's been around since he was 16.
Yeah, I remember you playing with Beckham and all that in the England squad. But,
yeah.
I mean, they are long retired. You just feel okay. You know, he's out here looking like Robin. Robin looked like an old man from like he was at 10.
20. Yeah, he was 20. Man, that man was bold.
Bold going. Yeah, you know, I'm an old man. You know, how old are you? 23. Yeah, but I mean, back to the game.
Yeah, but so like after we scored that penalty, you know, Tottenham actually came forward and they tried to score some goals, you know, to get back into the game. You know, Kane didn't have any other chances, but Danny Rose was able to cut in and, you know, on his wrong side, blasted over the bar. But by that time, you know, they needed something. They needed some kind of worldie, because as good as they were in the defensive side, and that started to, once they started tiring and we started, you know, putting that ball cross field and opening up the pitch and making that pitch as big as possible, you know, they didn't have that much going forward. Because this Liverpool team is easily the best that I've seen, because what they are, they're a hybrid of a few different teams. You know, they're not as, I wouldn't say that they're as great as Man City when it comes to passing the ball and ball retention, but they can keep the ball if they want to. You know, it's not going to be as probing, and it's not going to be it's not going to be that intricate around certain places that how Man City do it. But in terms of if they want to tire you out physically, they will tire you out by moving that ball left and right, and they'll probe you in different ways. So they'll probe you long balls, short balls, longer passes along the floor. So this is what they did to that Tottenham team. They started passing it long, passing it short, and by the time that Tottenham knew what was going on, we got back into the game. Game was done.
Yeah.
Won that game. And the reason that I'm so happy about beating Tottenham today is because from the 20th minute, right, they started doing those dark arts, wasting time. Wasting time, goal kicks, throw-ins. And once you do that, in my eyes, if you're not my team, I hope you lose. And I was so happy that they lost.
And then try to find time at the end.
Yeah, because if you waste time doing nonsense like that, trying to take the sting out, and what they did, they provoked the fans. And when the fans started getting on their backs, that's when the team was like, yeah, we're up another level.
Yeah, wait till we get the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
You keep it.
Yeah, you keep doing that, yeah. But anyway, that has been this week's review. Yo, Age.
Yeah.
You got anything to say?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Just keep it safe out there.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta keep it safe. You know, and is there a Monday night game?
I don't think there is.
Let's have a look at that.
There isn't any.
Perfect. All right, so.
But yeah. Carabao Cup is back Tuesday and on Wednesday. It looks like Man City is playing Southampton next.
We got you guys, don't we?
You have us.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit.
Us have you.
That's gonna be a troublesome one.
There's some good games coming up in this Carabao Cup, because in this Carabao Cup, we've got Leicester playing Burton, and Leicester's away at Burton, and if they put 9 past Southampton, you're hoping that they could put 9 past the clothing shop. Watford are playing Everton.
Yeah.
Watford are not abysmal, but not doing the greatest at present moment, but then neither of Everton. They're both roughly near each other.
Everton are rubbish. No, seriously, they are garbage right now. Theo Walcott's gone downhill faster than, you know what I mean? I don't even know the metaphor for that right now.
I don't understand why we sold Iwobi, then I saw him miss a shot. I understand fully.
Oh, big time.
Thanks for the memories. And when do you go address that quickly? I mean, but yeah, other game, which I think should be the pinnacle game, the most watched game, is Man City versus Southampton. And if they put 9, yeah, if they put 9 past Southampton, that might be a game to watch. Should be for the kids though. We play you, Liverpool, Arsenal. Play your ground. Hopefully, it should be shades of the Beast.
Oh yeah. What was that? That was
6-3.
6-3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember this. You know that game we beat you 6 goals, 6-3. Scored 6 goals.
Yeah.
Julio scored a free kick.
Yeah.
One of my memories of that game, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot his name, but he's a great player. Little guy, had bags of talent. He'd done his knee. I think that's his last game for Liverpool.
The little guy. What? Thompson?
No.
What, English foreign?
He's Spanish, I think. If you could stretch your mind that far, because he wasn't my player, I forgot his name, but I did like him. We'll keep that for trivia. If you can answer that question, you think so.
Yeah.
Aston Villa plays Wolves. Now that is a derby.
Yeah.
Because Aston Villa look to be like they're coming to do make their mark at least.
Yeah.
And they cause Arsenal a problem. They've been causing a few teams some sort of problem. They're not an easy blowaway team.
We got our next game after you guys.
But Wolves has some of the team have caught my attention. I'll be looking at Wolves going, that is, they almost finishing Champions League. They were decent enough to be there if they had got there. I would say, give it to them. They're not punching above their weight. They will put teams to the sword. They blew Man United away last season. Then, speaking of Man United, they play Chelsea.
Ooh.
There is some games to watch.
So Chelsea going to be going for the revenge on that one because they lost 4-0 in the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Against Man United. So we'll see if they can turn that around and spank the old Red Devils.
And I think they just might be able to.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got Longstaff. What's his name? Matt Staff? What's his name? Rodden Staff. What's his name in defence? You don't even know. That's the problem I have in Man United's defence right now. Man United's little makeshift defence. They bought from Argos. Please.
Oh, yeah. Lindelof and Harry Maguire.
Wow, they got bumped for that, man.
Oh, they got bumped big time, innit?
Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
They went and paid how much?
Yeah. They should have got the other guy that was at Leicester.
What, Jerry Maguire?
No.
Show me the money. Show me the money. They got done.
Yeah.
And the problem they have is you don't spend that money and go, our defense is still rubbish. Wow. I mean,
who does that?
Who does that? We spent 72 million on Pepe, and people are saying he's not worth the money. But like I said, he's trying to grow. But he has the positioning, the position he plays in, the positioning to, if he's not the greatest, people can step up. As a defender, we're looking at you. And that's, you know what? Imagine that having Van Dijk in your team. Imagine that. And imagine you rather having Van Dijk, someone says, do you know what? As a player you can get, it's going to cost you 120 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you go, he's going to be a bad man. And he comes, he's the Staffy, your team. That's Man United right now. You can't spend 100, well, how much million to spend? 80, was it? And he'd be, the most expensive defender? And he don't show you why?
Yeah.
Because respectfully, you might as well try and prize Van Dijk. You might as well see what you can do. If you're going to spend money on the most expensive defender and you got Harry Maguire, you have done wrong maths. Someone's done something wrong.
Of course.
If you can spend money to pay money for the most expensive defender, and the best you got for your money was Harry Maguire, okay.
You need some help.
You got hyped up and said, how much for the hype? I'll pay whatever for the hype.
Exactly.
Rather than saying, how much you're going to spend on hype, let me see what I can find for that money.
Oh, yeah, look. They went past the other real players that they couldn't get. They could have got that Koulibaly at Napoli. They didn't want to spend that kind of money.
But for Harry.
Who else was going at the time? They could even got that Golding at Atletico Madrid.
They could have got a few people.
You know, he might have been a short gap player, but
they could have got a few people.
Yeah, but you know what? We'll see what happens this week. This is Big Kev sign off.
This is Adrian signing off.
You know, so keep it happy in Couchland, and we'll see what's going on next week. Peace.
Keep it real.